You know, sometimes you hear a song that just hits differently years after it was written. What if a song from 1989, of all years, turned out to be the most spot-on diagnosis of our political life right now? That's what we're going to dive into, because Bob Dylan's track Political World might just be that song.
Right from the very first line, Dylan just lays it all out there. It's bleak, it's uncompromising, and there's absolutely no room for sentiment. He's painting this picture of a world where everything personal, even love, has been completely swallowed up by the political. And that's really the core idea we're playing with today. We're going to treat this song not just as music, but as a kind of moral philosophy. Think of it as a lens for understanding a world where, let's be honest, the old rules of public life seem to have just vanished.
Okay, so what does this political world actually look like? Well, Dylan basically gives us a tour of a place that's completely lost its moral compass.
In this world he's describing, empathy is just gone. Virtue, it's not a strength, it's actually a liability. Just getting by day to day means you have to think strategically, like you're playing a game. And all those big words, truth, honor, justice, they feel totally hollowed out, like they're just used for effect, not because they mean anything. And let's be really clear here. When Dylan says political world, he isn't just singing about politicians and elections. He's talking about a state of being. A world where every single interaction we have, whether it's at home or at work, is seen through this lens of power, strategy, and what you can get out of it. It's everywhere. So, let's look at the first bit of evidence for this diagnosis. It's this idea that our values have been completely turned upside down.
Man, what a brutal metaphor, right? It's not just that wisdom is being ignored. In the political world, it's actively punished. It's seen as a threat that needs to be locked away so it doesn't get in the way of the game. And boom, there's the connection to our own time. When you hear experts being dismissed out of hand, or when objective truth is challenged with so-called alternative facts, well, that's the modern-day version of wisdom being thrown into Dylan's jail cell.
So, what happens next? If you lock up wisdom, wrongdoing starts to look normal. And Dylan has this really chilling phrase for it.
He sings that crime don't have a face. Now, he's not talking about actual masked robbers. He's talking about a culture where shameful stuff happens so often and so brazenly out in the open that we just stop being shocked by it. It becomes just another part of the background noise, and any sense of accountability just melts away.
And this, of course, brings us to a figure in our own time who seems to have not just survived in this world, but absolutely thrived by mastering its logic.
This really is the million-dollar question, isn't it? Did Trump create this environment, or was he just the person who best understood how to win in a system that was already heading this way? The song seems to argue that the system was already here.
It's wild. You can almost read Dylan's lyrics like a political playbook. Taking the easy way out, that sounds a lot like spectacle over substance. The feeling that it's all a stacked deck, that's the perfect mindset to create polarization. And using grand, hollow language, like shouting God's name, becomes a powerful strategic tool, even if, as Dylan says, you're never sure what it is.
But here's the thing. The song isn't just a slam on leaders. It's also a really personal look at how the rest of us, how we adapt to this new reality. Dylan kind of lays out this three-step process. First, you wake up and you're just in the system. Second, you get trained on how to survive in it. And third, you adapt. You start taking what looks like the easy way out because you've learned its cynical logic.
And all of this leads to the final and maybe the most unsettling question that the song forces you to ask yourself.
This is the real kicker of the whole song. Is Dylan just a cynical reporter standing on the sidelines and describing a broken world? Or is this song a confession? Is he admitting that he too has been trained and is now playing the game just to survive? The song never really tells you. And so that's the final challenge the song leaves us with. In a world where politics feels like it's taken over everything, and where figures like Trump show just how rewarding it can be to master that system, can any of us really just be an observer? Or does living in the political world mean that sooner or later we all become participants?